Peace, YouTube. This is Fleur Brune coming to you today to make another topic of discussion. I told you I'd make more videos, and I really need to speak to my sea stars, my goddesses, my lady friends, and to women out there. I think we're having some issues right now with our growth and some stagnation with our progression. And I see the energies coming in with divine femininity and the end of home court advantage of the patriarchal system as an opportunity to take right now to assist you guys along that way and give you some shares about my own personal experiences. But I made a video yesterday and I talked about some of the nutritional things that probably what's going on nutritionally, and I didn't really go too deep into it, but I'm noticing a lot of stagnation along with my sisters out here, and I wanted to see if I can be of some assistance, and I wanted to just talk about some of the issues going on with us that need to be cleansed in order for us to rise and move forward. Obviously, we've lived under a patriarchal system for the last couple of hundred years, and it has been, it has hampered a lot of our energies. Also, the male patriarchal system is very vampiric, very parasitic. The males of that old energy would, really feed off of the feminine energy without much reciprocation. And I see it as happening at the end of their cycle so devastatingly more. So I want to get into it. I want to just tell you, ladies, that part of your growth spiritually has to be self-love. You have to love yourself. I have to love myself. We came in here to experience spirituality and growth, and a lot of what may be hindering our lives has to do with our lack of self-love. And you're like, Fleur Brune, come on now. Is it all about love? Yes, yes. We have a lot of parasitic males, and many of you are in relationships with them or seeking relationships, and are not realizing that the males and the counterparts that you're choosing right now will have a high effect on your energy and your ability to rise and get to a higher level and a higher state of being. Just like I've talked about clones, walk-ins, demonic possession, empty seaters, the patriarchal system comes with a whole schlep of them. And many of us get caught up in the web of those, male counterparts, and end up getting very, very hurt and depreciated and depleted of all of our sense of self-worth in these relationships. So I want to kind of get into that, and then we'll get into some good stuff and how to clear the energies or anything like that. Now, I'm going to give you some of the issues that you may be dealing with if you're feeling a certain way, certain symptoms that come with dealing or post-traumatic stress from dealing with some of these entities, or still partaking in relationships with some of these parasitic males. The old regime was a big proponent in making sure that there was a lack of choices that would be allotted to the female, to the woman at this time. So what happens is that in any society, whatever there is more of one and less of another, it will create this sense of desperation. Okay, so in previous times, women were healthy, and the original, entity living on the earth at the time was a female who did not need a male to reproduce. She was able to reproduce on her own through the process of parthenogenesis, which you'll see certain reptiles do as well. They're able to reproduce on their own, and as she fell from grace and she was we're going to get into hybrids and stuff like that. And I want to put it into videos because some of the people watching this video may not even be into that world. So I don't want to bring that into there. But as she fell from grace, there was she was split apart from her other half, and a male was created. And then she needed that, in order to balance, you get the yin and yang, and the male and female would come together to be able to create and manifest life. At this point, though, we've gotten to the point where our society has created a lot of havoc in downplaying the divine femininity. And you'll see this in a lot of religions that shows up with the omission of the feminine principles. Usually here, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, which is a negation of all femininity. It negates the female counterpart. And remember, women are the ones who create life. So to have, a system that promotes that is highly unnatural. So let me give you some of the symptoms of if you're dealing with, okay, so let's talk about first cleansing your intimate space. Okay, ladies, this is a real conversation. We've got to talk about it. I know it may be uncomfortable, but we're going to have to really, if you want to make it to a level where you feel good about yourself, you're getting, you're feeling healthier, you're spiritually raising your frequency. And a lot of doing that also will bring in abundance. If you're feeling a depletion of your resources and abundance, chances are you're engaged in a parasitic, codependent relationship with probably a vampiric male, or it could be a female. Friends do it as well, but we're talking about female with male counterparts at this point. Male that feeds off of you generally will deplete you of your energy source. He will deplete you of your sense of value. So if you're in a relationship where you are not receiving a certain amount of energy. I mean, listen, we get in relationships a lot of times, and because we're under a patriarchal system, we generally look to mate with males that we feel will protect us, or the alpha male is actually the one that's being sought out the most, and the alpha male also is the one that's more parasitic and may feed off of you the most, as opposed to a male that's a little more balanced with the feminine principle. Okay, so if you're with a mate who is not building with you, is not balanced with you, then chances are he's vampiric and a parasite. If you are in a relationship where you are second and there's another female in the relationship and you're considered, the side chick, you are in a parasitic relationship with an unhealthy male. Any male that's balanced doesn't have a necessity to build himself up by having multiple partners. I know many of the other religious factors will promote this. That is a part of the patriarchal system. It's also part of mind control, and it's a part of a way to depreciate the female counterpart and make her feel like she's not worthy or she's not enough. It's highly unhealthy. I don't agree with males having multiple partners. I think that is a selfish, narcissistic point of view. I think they promote it because we've come from a patriarchal system, and they've been allotted to do that. So if you are someone who's sharing a male without you, let's say this. You're sharing a male and you don't want to, and you don't feel, but you feel like you have to because you feel like that's the only choice you have. Chances are you definitely need to release that relationship out into the stratosphere and rock it out on your own until you feel good enough about yourself and you build up your self-esteem to the point where you realize that any person, any male that you choose, that's another thing of that, is that we are to choose our mates. Back when we were the original zygote, we were the ones who chose our males based on healthiness and so on, and they would have to vie for our attention. In the animal kingdom, you'll see male birds, male animals tend to be a little more flamboyant looking. They usually have bright colors, peacocks and stuff. They come with the brighter colors. They come with the louder sounds. They're way more flamboyant. And what it is they're trying to attract the female. And the female is the one who makes that ultimate decision on whether she wants to mate with that male based on his, his ability to capture her attention. And that's much more natural than males chasing females. That's way more unnatural. And what you'll have is an unnatural mating system, and we'll have, you'll procreate with males that have chosen you based on maybe some base attributes, and you'll reproduce children that have a lower value in self-esteem. Okay, so that's one. And obviously in the Matrix, they have spit out all these males into the into the lower tiers, the hood, and a lot of places where they're highly they're very males, or tend to be very predatorial, chasing women based on their buttocks, your fess, we say fess in French, but buttocks, butts, your bum bum. This is the old terms that we use. They choose them on physical attributes as opposed to what's going on mentally and intellectually with you, or spiritually. I mean, not all males, I'm talking about specific males, but they have been spewing these males into our environment and flooding our system with these type of males. And these predatory males will utilize you, spit you out, and go on and move on to the next. You're going to have to release that if you want a healthy system. If you're engaging in relationships with somebody who's married or who's taken vows, spiritual vows, whether they're with them or not, I'm seeing a lot of males that are separated, and females too. I speak from experience, that are married and have taken a union. You need to separate yourself from that. Sleeping or engaging with a male sexually or any form of intimacy with that male will only bring karma to you. So any male that is taken that is considered to be mated specifically with one particular female, and you are the sidebar to that, you are the second by choice, you have to realize that you're taking on some karmic debt with that, and later on in time you're going to have to pay for that debt. Okay, so I always tell you, I encourage you to not engage with males who are partnered up with females, especially if you know about it, and stay away from married men. There's a big karmic debt to pay for that. You will see later on, and I'm a woman of a certain age, so every single female that I've seen who's engaged with a male who's been married has paid dearly, and it is tragic when it happens. So release that, cry it out, go with your girlfriends, eat some non-dairy ice cream. Listen to Sade. Release him. It will only help to raise you up and start doing things that are of value to you. We're going to have to release these negative, empty seat males that have been flooding in our system. And again, I say a lot of this has been spewed into the hood, and you see it come out in the music too. A lot of these depreciative males who are promoting all kinds of side chicks and sexual, explicit, misogynistic type of theme that they're promoting is only going to deplete you if you engage with them, or if you promote it, if you listen to it. If you have little children, I would suggest you start making a beeline off of that vibration. That vibration is highly low vibration, and that's the vibration that will be experiencing a lot of hell when the pole shift does occur. So I would release yourself from that, and any males. Right now, the divine feminine energy is coming in. Those males will be omitted. And a lot of what you're seeing with the heinousness out in the environment right now to the males is their karmic debt. A lot of the slayings of males, especially black males, is occurring because of their lack of respect and honor of the female counterparts in their life. I'm not justifying anything, but what happens is that what you do comes back to you, and there is just like we have karma on a mass basis, as a male, especially as a brown male base, when you are not honoring your female counterpart, you're engaged in a lot of sexual activity to the depreciation of your female counterparts. There is a price to pay, and you're seeing that playing out. A lot of males are losing their virility. their penises are not working anymore. I'm not making jokes. It just is what it is. That's female energy coming in. A lot of males are changing disposition sexually, going over to engage with solely males. That is only to your benefit as well. You don't want to engage with males that are unhealthy. And divine feminine energy is going to mute any aggressive males. And what you're seeing from the spiritual point of view is that males that are highly aggressive, that are negations to the female divine energy, are being snuffed out, whether they're being murdered in a mass basis, whether they're being omitted from our sexual recreational pool through sexual orientation change, going to homosexuality, whether being incarcerated, also by their genitalia not working. That is all a sign that they're all natural males. And this is not a disrespect to males. Listen, if you respect your female counterpart and you're cohesive and you're balanced with her, absolutely, I think it's all good. But I say, when you're seeing things outwardly, it is a sign that something's going on inwardly. And all these aggressions towards, especially the black male right now, has to do with the unhealthiness that he is displaying in his own community by not respecting his female counterpart. You cannot engage in sexual activity with numerous women and say, oh, it's just part of our tribal, that's what we used to do, when it is hurting your female counterpart. There is a war going on in the hood right now in the black community. Why would you want to hurt your other half? Engaging with sexual activity with numerous women, or making your one partner feel a certain way about her not being enough, is a form of abuse. So that is not a healthy thing. I don't care if you're Muslim. I don't care if you're Moor. That is a heinous act against your female counterpart. And there will be a price to pay, and you're seeing it playing out. So karmically, you need to stop it. But for my females out here, for my women, for my sea stars, you have to make a choice not to engage with these males. They can only do what you allow them to do. That's very parasitic and it's very abusive. Pull away from them. Back off from them. Retreat. When you're not being treated to the standard that you feel good about yourself, he should be an illumination of you. He should be an appreciation of you, not a depreciation of you. If his behavior is hurting you, hindering the way you feel, making you feel less than, pull away. It is not for you. And better will come when you feel good about yourself. So that is one aspect. I have to speak on that. Retreat. Sea stars, retreat. No more sleeping with married men. No more sleeping with men that have more than one woman. No more allowing the phallus, the penis, the wand to enter your sacred stargate unless he is deserving. He has to show and prove that to you, and you choose him. You go and choose him from a healthy standpoint, a male that is healthy for you, that will help build with you and help to secure your own security, your own state of being. And the same for you. You can't come from a depreciative point of view and expect to get a male that is healthy. Okay, so that's on one aspect. I just want to speak on that. There's a lot of unhealthy males being spilled out. And again, why this happens in any society is that they've taken away any healthy males. So you have more females than males, and that's imbalance. And that's usually, it's very unnatural. When there is more males to choose from, there'll be less of the depreciative behavior of males, especially black males. Black males also understand that there's not many of them. So they get a chance to pick, they get the pickings because there's less of them for you to choose from. And it creates a sense of like not enough. So when there's not enough of something, you feel like it builds its value. Okay. When there's more males to female, you have less of this egregious behavior. It's only allowed. The playing field will level. Divine femininity is coming in and it will level all playing fields. So we'll get rid of any males that are unhealthy. It will take them out of your choosing pool, and it will bring in more healthy males as long as you become more healthy. And we have to support each other as sisters. Like if you have a friend who's engaged in activity with perhaps a married man, or she's in a negative relationship where she's being depreciative, please help her, build her, support her. Don't judge her, because we're all a product of this, the negative pool in the matrix right now. So let's pull away from that. So let's talk. Okay, so we pulled away from the negative male parasitic energies. What can we do for ourselves? Now, I have a couple things that I think you can do to help to release yourself. Also, when engaging with negative males, also some of them may have demonic attachments. And we talked about this incarnates, walk-ins. A lot of males who are displaying very aggressive, very negative, very low vibrational frequency may have an attachment of something attached to them. And I talked about this in one of the videos where we talk about walk-ins and demonic. I think I don't really go into demonic possession, but people have attachments on them. And we call, in the spiritual community, when you're engaged in sexual activity with some of these lower entities that have demons attached to them, you can catch something called STD. No, not STD as far as sexually transmitted disease. No, you catch sexually transmitted demons, okay? You can catch them. They can latch onto you and they can mess with you internally. So what I'm going to talk to you now about is clearing yourself of these. This is one of the first steps that will help you to release some of these lower entities and stop engaging with these males that are passing around this negative lower vibration and hampering your spirituality. What I will tell you to do now, first, I want you to start clearing yourselves. What I always suggest for you to do, especially if you've had sex with someone who's been hurtful to you or harmful to you, rather than go on to the next gentleman, you might be passing him on a demon as well. And you might still have that energy on you. So what you want to do is clear your Yoni. Your Yoni is your sacred space. You'll hear me call it the Stargate. Your vagina. I don't know what you guys call it. Some of you young ladies have some interesting terms for your sacred space. I call it the Stargate, your Yoni. Okay, so what I have over here are some things that I want you to do. A lot of our ancestors, the women, used to do this sometimes after childbirth and prior to wanting to create a higher soul before getting impregnated. You guys all know sage. White sage is, oh, it smells so good. Oh, I love the smell of sage. Okay, you should clean. Oh, so good. Good stuff. No, it's not kush and marijuana. This is sage, okay? This is your staple in your house for clearing. Anytime you have people coming over your house or staying over, especially the holidays ended, you want to have sage in your house and you want to burn it. A lot of people will burn it. They burn it like, just light this up. You'll get sage bundles. I think some of you know what I'm talking about. And they'll burn it smudged corner to corner in the house. I'm a fan of that, but I'm more of a fan of, I'm a recycling kind of gal. I take this musk sage and I take it about maybe a good amount, okay? Something like this amount, a little bit more. And I put this in a pot of distilled water. If you have a filtering system, never put it in tap water. I take this and put this over, fill up a pot, a nice sized pot, and I fill it up with water, distilled water. And I add sea salt, Himalayan sea salt, to the water to raise the vibration. I like the pink salt because it has a higher vibration and it kind of changes the frequency of the water, raises it. And then I put this in it, sage. After I boil it, I take the pot, and then I add my rose quartz. I know I have a big one. This is for love and healthy heart vibration. This can heal your heart. This is rose quartz. You can get this anywhere. I happen to live where crystals are very reasonable, but I would always suggest you have a huge rose quartz, especially if you're dealing with heart issues, heartache or sadness or regret. This is wonderful. I add this to my pot with my distilled water, my Himalayan sea salt, and sage. You can add other herbs if you like. Some people like to add Florida water, which is a lot of people who are into voodoo, Yoruba, and things like that, or come from that kind of island background. Florida water, a tab of it. The smell is wonderful. You add it to the water, okay? You boil it. Now, why I say you're going to, I'm recycling, I'll tell you in a minute. So you do all that. You put it, you let it steep. You let it cool down just a little bit, but you want the steam to come up. You take a pot. Now, I'm showing you the bootleg version because I don't want you guys to go you can buy the actual system to sit down and steam your yoni, but you don't have to. I want you guys to do it now, and I want you to say, because women, we have a tendency to, oh, I'll do it when I get the money to buy the system to do it all right. No, do it now. You want to clear the energies, because frequency and money comes in with healthier selves.